Grease. The grease in my face is evidence of hours of work being spent next to the computer. Golf. I think of this word and I only think of you, brother. Oh, how I wish we could have a classic party with everybody from our circle having fun, telling stories and jokes. I would even sit down with you and hear all of your latest golf stories. I just want to spend time with you, my dude, with you and our people. Guaraguao. Veo el guaraguao y me acuerdo del averiguao, el ave más vista en Puerto Rico como le dicen por mis lares, pero también me recuerdo de otras palabras que riman con guaraguao que llevan el mismo significado según el contexto del texto, como cuando digo mere pescado y mere bacalao, refiriéndome a una persona fresca o lista y a veces como un término de afecto entre amistades o familiares. Es simplemente parte de la complejidad del vocabulario. Persona que me lee. So, si te digo guaraguao, pescado o bacalao, que no te moleste, quizás sea de cariño, pero si te llamo averiguao, ahí sí que debes preocuparte. Bacalao. Gucci. Never knew much about Gucci, never really was that much into fashion, or at least that type of fashion, but then I found out how important it's in the fashion world, and how much hip-hop has helped it stay relevant. I also found that un pana mío le dicen Gucci. It's interesting how one word can have so many meanings, and have such an impact in culture as a whole. I wonder if Gucci ever thought they'd get this far. I wonder if they ever thought that certain people would act guarafuchi once they bought Gucci cause they think they have a higher purpose on the social ladder. I wonder what Gucci thought. I wonder what Gucci thought. Gargajo. Cada letra que sale de esta mente es un gargajo lleno de sentimientos, pensamientos, cuentos, experiencias e ideas. Ninguna es perfecta, pero con cada una nueva que sale, espero hacer progreso y espero que se pueda ver eso. Gracias. Gracias le doy a toda mi familia, gracias le doy a todas mis amistades, gracias le doy a todas mis influencias, gracias le doy a toda mi isla, forever agradecido a todo en la vida, forever agradecido a la patria y a las artes en mi vida que le dieron un sentido de existencia y que me han dado fuerza para presentar resistencia contra todo sentimiento que traiga decadencia, porque la poesía y el arte siempre llevan la esencia de todo lo que me perturba y puedo explorarlo hasta que derrumba, y por eso y todo lo demás siempre doy gracias. God. Me siento como un dios con cada cuento que presento, sea en poesía, prosa, guión o cualquier otro medio. Quizás es por eso que mucho artista ama lo que hace, porque siente algún tipo de control cuando antes no lo tenía. Gratitude. Always showing gratitude and throwing away I love yous to anybody who shows gratitude or love, just like the other day when I felt empty inside and I wrote it on Twitter and 2 friends came to my aid and in return I said thank you and asked how they were doing in these difficult times. They weren't long conversations, but they were demonstrations of gratitude and love. Gracefulness. The poet has a habit of gracefulness to it, but it's mostly a bunch of rambling and experimentation looking to make sense of words, thoughts, feelings, stories, and ideas as he looks to survive in a world where there's an abundant amount of information that slowly burns his brains away. Ghost. I don't care much about the afterlife, but I recently dreamt I was a ghost and that I'd visited you and our future kids after I died in a tragic accident. I don't care much about the afterlife, but if I ever die in a tragic way, I wish I can come back in some form so I can see you and our future kids grow into whatever you and they desire. Gems. Most of my poems have very little to offer, or so I think. I'll admit, I give more care to some than others, exploring various themes that affect me, my people, and those I care about. But overall, I just hope you can find a few gems in each poem of mine you can find. Google. We spend hours on Google looking to get informed, looking to find fun, looking to find porn, looking to find more. We've grown addicted to it, we've grown attached to it, so much so that we would fail even to use our minds in order to grasp basic information. We spend hours on Google, and one must wonder what will happen if it ever ceases to exist. Godet. A man with a pink godet skirt blows away the mind of people who live with ancient perspectives, and they all try to shame him, but he isn't afraid to be himself. It is a form of rebellion that cannot be stopped. Gracious. And with a gracious smile, the young fighter accepted defeat, vowing to train harder and become better in order to accomplish his father's last request. Giant. A giant stack of papers and a giant stack of pens and markers stay close together as the poet attempts to express his giant storm of emotions, feelings, stories, ideas, and more into all of the canvases that are available to him. Gross. As a kid, I found a few things to be gross, and today I still find a few of those to be gross. But, you know what's really gross? Corrupt politicians and cops who continue to abuse of their power. Green. Green stacks of paper allow others to consume large amounts of green. Gray. Everything is gray, but we fail to understand that concept as we've always been told that things are black and white. Glazed. The artist glazed his piece with a final coat of painting looking to make it perfect, but he still isn't satisfied. So he starts again and continues to work on it, 'cause works are never really finished, as he always puts it. Glass. And like Glass's body, the man's feelings were fragile and he took deadly actions against all those who deemed enemies, destroying lives in the process. Good. Blondie was considered to be the good, but was he really? Sure. He was better than Angel Eyes, but he and Tuco were similarly gray. Glue. Thoughts, emotions, feelings, stories, and ideas are all over the place, so the artist sits down, trying to find the glue that'll bring them together in a new creative form of expression. Grief. Grief, one of the most experienced emotions in quarantine and Maria days, but power-hungry pigs don't care, for all they express is greed. Grow. We're all afraid to grow because we fear the responsibilities and struggles that come with it, but we must face these fears and become better than the person that existed before. Gap. Generation gaps can often destroy a powerful revolution. Gun. A gun-filled protest goes without arrest. A peaceful protest goes with arrests and deaths. Always question cops.